This year I have absolutely fallen in love with painting nature with watercolors. So in my last class, at the end I asked what should I paint next, and somebody requested trees. So then my next thought was, well, which trees? And of course there are so many to choose from. I decided to paint a rainbow of trees. To begin with, I chose the Purple Leaf Plum. All of the watercolors that I use in this video and all of my videos are Daniel Smith watercolors. For this one, I mixed quinacridone violet with a little bit of indanthrone blue. For the lilac, I chose ultramarine blue with a little bit of indanthrone blue for the shadows. If you've ever seen a wisteria, you feel like you're on a Disney set. They are absolutely stunning, the way that the flowers drape down. For this wisteria, I used cerulean blue and a little bit of phthalo blue. The blue spruce reminds me of Christmas. This one, I used a little bit of phthalo turquoise, some indanthrone blue, and a bit of sap green. I like to mix burnt umber with indanthrone blue to make deeper shadows. The blue pine is also a stunning tree. For this one, I mixed a bit of white gouache with cerulean blue and a touch of sap green. For the Scotch pine, I mixed a little bit of phthalo green with sap green to create a bit of a variety in the colors. I just diluted the paint and used my dry brush, thirsty brush technique to lift off some of the color to make more of the lighter areas. The acacia tree trunk, I used a bit of burnt sienna, and for the main foliage, I used mainly sap green and a touch of nickel azo yellow and lifted some of the color just to create the highlight areas. For the cypress, I mainly used sap green and I mixed a little bit of indanthrone blue with it to create the shadow areas. I used the same colors for the Douglas fir with maybe a touch more indanthrone blue mixed with burnt umber to create the darker colors, and I used a 000 brush for the detail. I would say I used the same techniques, brush, and colors for the lodgepole pine. For the western cedar, I also mainly used sap green. And for the trunk, I used mostly burnt umber. The date palm was extra fun. I love the shape of palm trees, how droopy and swayy they are in the wind. So for this one, for the drier fronds, I used some burnt sienna, as well as for the coconut palm. For the green fronds, I mainly used sap green, and for the lighter parts on the trunk, I used a touch of yellow ochre as well. The Arbutus tree is so much fun. It's got mostly some burnt sienna in the trunk. In real life, you would see some shades of quinacridone gold and yellow ochre, but I couldn't represent all the colors here. This is an absolute statement tree on the West Coast, wherever there are sunny spots. For the foliage, I mainly used sap green and I diluted some of it and used the thirsty brush to lift. Same as for the oak. However, for the trunk of the oak, I mixed a bit of indanthrone blue and burnt umber to create the deeper colors. For the Saguaro cactus, I used a bit of yellow ochre as well as the sap green, but a touch of white gouache for the highlight areas. For the white paper birch, I used some nickel azo yellow with a little bit of sap green and some Hansa yellow light. Same as for the ginkgo tree. For the sugar maple, I used transparent pyrrole orange with a bit of nickel azo yellow and some sap green. For the Japanese maple, I mainly used quinacridone coral, some alizarian crimson, and maybe a touch of indanthrone blue just to deepen it. The cherry blossom is mainly quinacridone rose and a little bit of white gouache for the lighter areas. There were so many more trees that I wanted to paint, and I realized that I had 3 more spots. So I painted the Norfolk Island pine, which reminds me of a trip I took to Hawaii. These pines are absolutely stunning. And for this one, I mostly used sap green. I've never seen a Sunland baobab in person, but someday I want to. This one I mainly used sap green and a little bit of burnt sienna for the complementary color to deepen that green and make it a bit more earthy. And for the dogwood, it was mostly white gouache and a touch of quinacridone rose. This one was supposed to represent the white. In real life, they have these gorgeous big saucer flowers. If you like this video, make sure you subscribe, and I would love to hear what your thoughts are and which trees are your favorite trees. My next video is actually going to be more of a landscape study of West Coast trees. In the comments below, let me know what you'd like to learn next. Till next time.